They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, Laker fam? It's your boy DTLF back with another video. Guys, it is draft day, okay? So hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday. NBA Draft 2025 is today. It's going to happen at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Tap in with your boy on Playback TV. I'm thinking of multicast streaming it here and on Playback, but what I'm really going to do is just go live on Playback. First 50 to get in when we get to watch it for free. So be there early, and then I'll have a little recap at the end of the day here on the YouTube channel. That way I can utilize both platforms to the max of their abilities. All right. Oh, my goodness, y'all. The rumor mill is churning. All right. My phone is burning from all the messages. It is crazy right now. Today is Wednesday, June 25th, draft day. And there's so much going on in the league. So many phone calls being made. So many different things that may or may not happen. We'll see. We'll find out. Good to see you, CJ. How you doing, bro? What up, Kimmy Goat? What's up, everybody? Tamika, good to see you guys. Let's start with some fire. How about that, guys? Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's start with some heat. All right, here on NBA Newswire, we got to start with the report that the Lakers are trying to trade for Walker Kessler. Yes, that's right. Somebody that we would all love the Lakers to absolutely land. The Lakers are actually trying to trade for him, all right? So sources reveal that, and according to also NBA insider Andy Larson of the Salt Lake Tribune, sorry if I said that wrong, Tribune, the Lakers are trying to trade for Kessler. The Lakers need a center, obviously. It says here that after losing to the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round this year in the playoffs, after 5 games, the team, since lacking size, are trying to trade for Walker Kessler, who averaged 11 points, 12 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks, shooting 66% from the field. All right. Now, according to multiple sources, including my own, who can confirm this, the Lakers are showing significant interest in Kessler, giving up multiple picks to get there. That is on the table right now. And then, again, insider for the Jazz says, I don't know if the Jazz take it, but certainly they haven't so far. But there is an offer. Now, could this be a grandfather offer that they posted on the table that's better than the previous one? Does it match the previous one? We don't know the details to that yet. But one thing is for sure, guys, is that the Lakers are very, very active. And I can confirm that. I can definitely confirm that. Extremely active. Okay, Walker Kessler on the Lakers would be perfect. Whatever they have to give up to make it happen, outside of maybe Rui and Reeves, I'm cool with. If we give up Reeves, we better be getting, Colin Sexton or Jordan Clarkson back to make up for that. But if it's just for Walker Kessler, who's still on a rookie scale contract, I think we can get away with maybe Dalton Connect and maybe a first-round pick and removing the protection off the other pick, which was my initial trade offer for them last year during the trade deadline, right? Now, we don't know exactly what the offer is, but yes, the Lakers are extremely active trying to land a big man right now as we speak. Now, if they can't land Kessler for whatever reason, they might pivot into free agency where there's guys like Clint Capella, guys like Brook Lopez that have been mentioned. But this is what I'm hearing, okay? Now, Kessler makes $4.9 million next season, right? He can sign a rookie scale extension this summer or this offseason, yeah. He played 58 games. He was a bit hurt, but that sample size, 11 points, 12 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks is exactly what the doctors ordered for the Lakers. So, again, if they can get him, that'd be great. What up, Solo? Plenty of rumors, bro. And I'm starting with the Laker one first, and we'll move on to the NBA rumors next, all right? Because I want you guys to hit that like button for your boy. Rui on the block for Wiggins is not confirmed yet. I do know that Pat Riley's very active. The Lakers could have been one of those teams that inquired about Wiggins and about Bam. But we don't know if there's any validity to an actual offer yet. Maybe they just inquired from what I'm hearing. Right now, you're going to have a lot of people reporting stuff, trying to guess things. But I'm a straight shooter. I'll tell you guys exactly what I'm hearing. And that is that the Lakers have inquired. There's a difference between inquired and placed an offer on the table. Now, to those people that are reporting that maybe there is an offer on the table, they could be guessing right, but it's all an educated guess as of right now, because I'm not hearing absolutely nothing about an offer being on the table. Now, if something does get done, is because Pat Riley wanted to get it done. And, there's a lot of teams that are going to be looking to start fresh. From what I'm hearing, the Utah Jazz is another one of those teams that is open to moving everyone, including Kessler, right? Include everybody involved. So, all right, I got another extremely juicy rumor for you guys, and I got to pat myself on the back for this one because I mentioned the Lakers should do it, and they have done just that, okay? According to NBC Sports, the Lakers and the Celtics are talking Derek White trade, all right? You heard that right. It is coming from NBC Sports. That's not my source. That is NBC Sports. You can check that one out yourself. So the Lakers and the Celtics, I repeat, are in conversations for a potential Derek White trade. Now, it's not just the Lakers and the Celtics. A bunch of teams have inquired about both Jaylen Brown and Derek White, just like I predicted after the Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday trades. But I got to commend the Lakers. They're striking all the right course. Could this be Mark Walter pulling the strings from behind the scenes because he still doesn't have full ownership of the team yet? So, like a rumor has it, around mid to late December is when the full purchase will be made. But if the Lakers are indeed inquiring about Jaylen Brown and Derek White, you have to be excited about that because those are winning moves. Those are championship winning moves. If the Celtics are indeed having a fire sale and they're trying to start from scratch, which I predicted could be a possibility, not likely, but a possibility. We're hearing multiple reports that they're listening. So from what I'm reading here on NBC Sports, again, legitimate sources, it says here the Celtics aren't done trimming salary. The Lakers recognize they need to bolster their roster around LeBron James and Luka. One rumor is that has gained traction. The Lakers would acquire championship point guard Derek White from Boston in a trade centered around Rui Hachimura and Dalton Knecht. All right. Says here, this is a fluid and there are a lot of moving parts. Some people want Jaylen Brown involved, but that is an insane long shot. But the rumor is out there. Okay. Now for the Lakers, obviously, White is the perfect point guard to play alongside Luka Doncic because he's a defensive guy, right? He's elite defensively. He also shoots 38.4% from beyond the arc. Right, he excels on the catch and shoot, all that good stuff. So clearly, Derek White would be phenomenal. Exactly what the doctors order. But we're not the only ones calling. All right, teams are calling Boston about White and Brown. We're not the only ones calling, according to Brian Windhorst of ESPN. A number of teams, top 10 picks, have called the Celtics to gag their interest on trading Jaylen Brown. So if Boston does something, it could happen as soon as tonight. Right now, man. If I had to take an educated guess, we will not land Derek White or Jaylen Brown, but I commend the Lakers for at least calling and submitting an offer, right? You like the way I pronounce Blaster? Oh, how would you say it? How would you say it? Correct me if I'm wrong. But I love it. How you doing, sis? Good to see you. Yeah, make sure you guys are there early, guys. 50 VIP passes to watch along the draft as I give you guys my expert analysis and breakdown, pick by pick, and who knows, we might have some blockbusters there as well. Bolster, thank you. This is the Compton in me, Blaster. I think it's gonna take me a while to get used to the correct way to say it. So yeah, for now I'm sticking with Blaster, but appreciate you for correcting me on that. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hey, listen. I got plenty of rumors here. These are just the Laker ones I wanted to give you. The Walker Kessler and the Derek White and Jaylen Brown ones are the first rumors I want to talk about. Now, the Heat have a very strong interest, and according to Evan Siddery, they're pursuing a sign and trade for Jonathan Kuminga after missing out on Kevin Durant. I don't trust the Evan Siddery source as much, but I had to mention it because I am hearing from my own personal sources that the Miami Heat are actually very active. So some of these could have some validity to it. Maybe even though Andrew Wiggins wants to the Lakers. We'll see. But that I find very interesting, guys. They just acquired, they just made a trade. There could be a good relationship there between the Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat since they have already made a trade with one another. So what I'm starting to realize, and you build relationships when you make these trades and you leave them in good standing. You seen the Celtics, they did this with the Portland Trailblazers. They made a trade with them and they went back and made pretty much a similar trade. Now, also hearing that the Celtics might be willing to reroute Anthony Simons to another team. Maybe they weren't as interested in him. They were just trying to offload the contract of one Drew Holiday, right? Anything to get under the cap, I guess. And now, again, that would be maximum value in return. He is in a contract year, and he's probably going to play really hard for whatever team he plays for. Anthony Simons is an intriguing name out there as well. I want to know, what do you guys think? What trade rumor pertaining to Lakers do you guys like the best? Do you guys like the Walker Kessler one, which I love, by the way? Or do you like the Derek White, Jaylen Brown one potentially better? Although I think that one's much slimmer chance of happening. The Wiggins one, I take grain of salt with that, but it's out there for sure. And we are, Vegas and Bovada, we are the official betting favorites for both to land Bam Adebayo and Wiggins. What do they know that we don't, right? But sometimes, a lot of those times, the betting odds don't necessarily hit, right? But how y'all feeling? Let's see. Tara says, we gave Pat Riley a statue. He better work with us. That's true. And I think that was very strategic on Jeannie's part and or whoever was making that decision. Go out and give Pat Riley a statue. We might need some pieces, man. How y'all feel about Tyler Hero? Not saying that's a possibility. They love him, but, there's a lot of pieces I like from that team. A lot. I loved Kelly Ware before he got drafted. I wanted him to slip and fall to the Lakers over Dalton Connect. And now look, he looks like a great young up-and-coming stud for the Miami Heat, and they didn't even want to include him in the trade packages for KD. So that'll tell you how highly they think of him, and I'm telling you, man, I knew that kid was going to be a star in this league, and I feel like he will be. I still feel the same way about Kelly Ware. Let's see, Mr. G-Rod, what's up, man? How you doing? What ex-Laker would you want back to help us win a chip? Alex Caruso. Right now, he's one of the hottest names out there that had just won a championship. And, he's a champion for a reason, man. I would love it, bro. I would absolutely love to bring him back here. Should never let him go. But that's a name that comes to mind. Let me see who else. There's a couple of names, man. A couple of names. But that's the one that comes to mind right off the top to answer your question. Absolutely. All right, got another rumor for you guys. This one comes from John Anderson from the SAC B. So, again, I tend to believe the rumors that are being reported from their insiders from that team because they tend to know a little bit more about that team, all right? The Kings could test the trade market for Domantas Sabonis this summer. It doesn't mean tonight or tomorrow, but it means this summer. Now, Sabonis is a 3-time All-Star and is under contract through 2027-2028, making $45 million annually. That's another neat name that really intrigues me. It really intrigues me. Yes, John Collins, right before I went live, just picked up his player option. I think he's making over $25 million, right? Yeah, he's making over $25 million or $24 million. Yeah, I mean, maybe he found out from his agent he's going to get traded. So he picked up his option. Maybe he's happy. What if that ends up being a fluid rumor that was earlier, right? No, actually, he's making $26.5 million player option. So, yeah, he picked that up. Sometimes when they pick that up, they know they're going somewhere. Or they just pick it up because they didn't feel like they could make, more than that, or, their future is insecure. It could be a multitude of things, but maybe there is a trade in the works. Lakers would have taken Ware over Connect if he fell. He was a top of their board. Bro, I wanted him to fall so bad, bro. I wanted us to trade up to get him because I figured he wouldn't fall. I figured Kelly Ware would not fall. He would have been special here. And matter of fact, the only downside is we probably don't have the Luka trade if that happens because him and AD would have terrorized the league. But yeah, he would have been a great fit. He'd be a great fit now, right? And the center market is so scarce, guys, that I think teams are going to overcharge. I think teams, even like the Jazz, are trying to overcharge for big men. I mean, do you blame them? I don't. I definitely do not blame them for trying to overcharge for these big men. All right, let's see here. You guys wanted me to talk about the inquired Miami Heat forward Andrew Wiggins to complement Luka and LeBron, right? Yeah, it looks like the Lakers did inquire about Andrew Wiggins. Inquire, though, and in trade talks is two different things. So, again, take these rumors with a grain of salt. Also, Yahoo Sports reporting that both Mikal Bridges and Mitchell Robinson have surfaced in trade discussions with several team executives. Wow. After everything they gave up with Mikal Bridges, now they're looking to trade him. You have to wonder how much they can pull back since he's on a contract year. How much are they going to be able to pull back for him since he's on a contract year, right? That is very interesting to me. Like, wow, I would love Mitchell Robinson. Yes, he's injury prone, but man, Mitchell Robinson on the Lakers would be tremendous. So I think the Lakers have to inquire there just to see, but man, that's crazy. My guy said Bridges is going to try double his salary. He's at $24 million now. Facts. And that's crazy. But again, that trade, it's going to be debatable to know if it worked out for the Knicks or not, since they came up short from a championship. They gave up a lot, right? So for me, they fired their coach. Now they're looking to trade Mikal Bridges. If they do trade Mikal Bridges and they don't give a fraction of what they gave up, they definitely lost that trade because it didn't land them a championship. And even though Bridges was great in the playoffs in spurts, and especially in that Boston Celtics series, they don't win that without Bridges. He might not be worth the 5 first-round picks they gave up if they have to deal him for like 3 or 2.5, right? So we'll see what happens there. But I find it interesting that after just a 1-year trial, they're looking to trade him. The one that intrigues me, Mitchell Robinson, could be at an affordable cost for sure. Also, I find it really interesting that Jrue Holiday is reportedly pissed that he was traded to Portland. He does not want to go there, all right? So apparently Portland is trying to force him to play there because they want to win in the West. You're not going to win in the West. Not with that team, buddy. Not yet, at least. You got to let the players grow and develop. They traded a young piece. But I found it really freaking interesting that they want to hold him at gunpoint. I think Jrue Holiday, if he doesn't get rerouted, he gets traded at the trade deadline. So keep an eye out on him for sure. Jrue Holiday's an intriguing piece as well. And let's see what happens with that. But Anthony Simons also might get rerouted. Now, the next rumor I have is more draft related. For those of you excited about the draft, the Nets are eyeing a draft day trade with the Sixers, right? Amid the Ace Bailey buzz. So what happened was Ace Bailey does not want to go to Philly. Ace Bailey has been tanking a lot of, I think all of his workouts, trying to force his way to a certain specific spot, right? Now, the Brooklyn Nets are eyeing a move up to the board. Brooklyn, I think, is it Brooklyn where he wants to go? I forgot where he wanted to go, but they do have 5 first-round picks. They can make it happen. They have number 8, number 19, number 22, number 26, and number 27, all right? So they could definitely make something happen there. Several teams are in the top 5, including San Antonio, although San Antonio has a guy they like from what I'm hearing. Philadelphia, who seems like nobody wants to go there, with an injured Joel Embiid and a way off P. Don't be shocked if he gets moved tonight, right? Paul George might get moved tonight. The Charlotte Hornets have number 4, and there's been rumors that some young prospect doesn't want to play alongside LaMelo. That could be Ace Bailey. Now, this is what I find very intriguing because I don't think this was a problem before athletes started getting paid in college. Now they're feeling like celebrities. They're coming in here demanding stuff, right? Most of the time you're happy to get drafted in the top. Now people want to slip down in the draft just to try to have a better career early on. It's not a good look for Ace Bailey, and ultimately I think it could cost him a top 10 pick. I don't think so. He's really talented, but imagine if everybody gets together and says, we're not taking him in the top 10 to teach him a lesson. So I'm not sure this is the way you should proceed about the draft, okay? But it's going to be interesting. That's another storyline to follow, and I wish the kid the best. I'm a big fan of his. He's a great player, great up-and-coming player. Some people even think that, not me, but some people even think that Ace Bailey is going to be better than Cooper Flag, okay? And so that's how high they are on that kid. But if he's coming in like a diva already, or the people in his circle are giving him the wrong advice, it might cost him, right? It might cost him. So we'll see. It's not about how much a player is worth. It's about how much a player is worth to you specifically. That's why Bane also went for so much, aside from the fact that they added a pick to drop Pope. Facts. Big facts. And that's why the Lakers are trying to overpay for Walker Kessler. Portland is a clown show, bro. They do not know what they're doing. How the heck are you going to get a veteran like Jrue Holiday? Trade him away, trade back for him. He doesn't want to be there, but you're going to hold him at gunpoint? No. I think eventually they get rid of him. If not this summer, by the trade deadline. Unless they convince him and the kids grow on him in Portland, he embraces that mentorship role. But that's the end of your career type thing, right? That is the end of the career type thing right there. Appreciate you, Kimmy Goat. Absolutely. Drew Holiday will come to Lakers after a buyout. They can get a first round pick out of him, bro. Some team will be desperate enough to overpay for the 36-year-old and give up a first round pick. Now it might be protected, but they can get a first round pick for him, I'm sure. I think he's more of an asset than he is. I don't think Portland's smart enough to try to convince him to mentor the young players. Portland seems like a team that has zero plans. But the trade buzz is going crazy. Again, back to Jaylen Brown. A lot of teams are inquiring about both Jaylen Brown and Derek White. One of those teams have been the Utah Jazz. They made an quote-unquote aggressive push to try and acquire Jaylen Brown from the Celtics. Now, again, the Jazz missed out on the top overall pick. They were tanking all year to try to get Cooper Flagg. They missed out, so it makes sense that they try to swing for the fences. For me, best fits for Jaylen Brown, if he does indeed get traded, is all right now. Teams just inquiring does not mean that he's going to get traded, right? They're listening to offers unless they get a home run offer. Teams that make sense to me for Jaylen Brown. Number one team with the most assets to give up that makes sense is actually the San Antonio Spurs. Okay, because they have the most to give up. They have the number 2 overall pick in this draft. Very good players there in the top 3 that can be had in this draft. So if I'm the Spurs, I'm making an offer. I'd offer that number 2 pick for Jaylen Brown to pair him up with De'Aaron Fox and Wemby. And now you're looking much more dangerous. If you draft a young player and a young piece, that's good, but there's more guards than anything in wings in this draft. They got a very nice one in Steven Castle. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. So why not go get a 3-and-D guy, 3-and-D wing, 3-and-D guard, instead somebody who's seasoned and can help propel your team. If I was the Spurs, right? Obviously, the other team that it makes sense for, but I don't know if we have enough to actually give them, unless the Celtics are intrigued, would be the Lakers, right? Jaylen Brown on the backcourt. I mentioned this the other night before the rumors even became realistic that Jaylen Brown may get traded. I mentioned that I would love him on the Lakers in the backcourt with Luka Doncic. A true 3-and-D guy, somebody that I felt was the true best player in Boston. And I think it would be a huge mistake for Boston to trade him, but it's a mistake that the Lakers should want to capitalize on. It'll be, their trash is our treasure. And I think this man is one of the legit, consistent 2-way wings in this league. You get somebody like that next to Luka, and it will take you to another stratosphere. I'm telling you right now. So I'm not sure if it's possible, but the Lakers should be swinging for said fences, right? But again, we're hearing that several teams in the top 10 of the draft have been making trade offers for Jaylen Brown and Derek White. My best bet, one of them lands them. Because if you really want to start from scratch, you really want to trade a Jaylen Brown, you want to start over, you want to trade a Derek White, and maximize on your draft assets as new ownership or whatever, then you want to get draft picks. So that would absolutely make sense to me if they did that. What do you guys think? Is it Capella for veteran minimum? That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. Mama Mentality said, "What up, bro? I know hoop heads like us are exercise for the draft. Even if the Lakers aren't in day one, these players might be the future stars. Have a good stream, bro." Thank you, man. Appreciate that, Mama Mentality. Yeah, I think you meant excited. We're very excited for the draft. And it's not necessarily all the time about the draft, even though I love watching the draft and every pick and breaking it down. But for me, it's more about draft day trades. The Lakers could get involved. They could trade up and try to get a first-round pick. They could make a draft day trade and land a veteran. There's different things you can do on draft day because you kind of see what direction teams are moving in. And if you can get involved in a 3-team deal or something like that and get an asset in return or vice versa, then it's always exciting, guys. There's always a lot to cover on draft day. Again, make sure you guys don't stay back. Download the app, Playback. It's absolutely free. You guys get to watch along for free with me. First 50 to get in, get the VIP pass, all right? When you get there, just request VIP pass, please, and either me or my GOAT moderator will hook you up to watch the draft for absolutely free of charge. Best app on the planet right now, Playback TV. Go download it right now. And matter of fact, Kimmy Go makes it really easy because she posts the link right here. All right. Back to the rumors, y'all. So let's get in a little bit into the draft rumors. Obviously, Dallas Mavericks are zeroing in on Cooper Flagg. He only visited Dallas for the private workout, right? He's very versatile. He fits. Mavericks are going to be dangerous if they can get healthy. We're hearing the Mavericks are interested in D'Lo or Dennis Schroeder or that type of guard, since Kyrie's going to be out for the entire season. So, the Mavericks are intriguing. They'll have the first pick. We know what the first pick is going to be in the draft. You have to be a madman to not take Cooper Flagg with the first pick, okay? The Spurs are likely to draft Dylan Harper with the second pick, though they are listening to trade offers, okay? Now, sources indicate they are seeking substantial return, which may deter trades. Now, Harper fits with De'Aaron Fox, and Steven Castle is questioned due to lack of perimeter shooting, but the status as a top-tier prospect makes him the favorite. So we kind of know what the top two picks are going to be just based off of these reports, right? And then it gets interesting at number 6 because the Wizards are high on Rutgers' Ace Bailey, who isn't. A lot of people had him as the second best prospect in the NBA, but him foregoing a lot of workouts is making him look like a diva, might make him slip, and the Wizards might be lucky enough to nab him at number 6, right? They also like Oklahoma's Jeremiah Fears. But again, they have Bub Carrington, who's really good as well, right? There's buzz about Washington trying to trade up for Maryland's Derek Queen, all right? Or Duke's Kaman. Hey, listen, here's the thing, though. The reason why Washington intrigues me, they got plenty of veterans that the Lakers could tap into. Marcus Smart, guys like that, right? So they are very intriguing for sure, right? Now, the Memphis Grizzlies, they acquired the 16th pick in the Desmond Bane trade. They are actively exploring options to move up or down in the draft board, right? They're interested in South Carolina's Colin Murray Boyles. That's what they're interested in. Apparently, the front office feels like he fits their needs. So that's interesting. And then the Nets, who have 5 first-round picks, we already talked about this. They're looking to maybe move up in the draft as well, okay? There's a couple of players that are coveted in this draft. And the top 5 is very intriguing for me for sure. But we'll see what happens later on today in the draft. I will take comments, questions, and concerns now. Let's see here. That's a really good place for D'Lo, to be honest. We talking about the San Antonio Spurs or the Dallas Mavericks? Mavericks, for sure. They need a ball-handling point guard. Thing is, D'Lo can get hot from time to time. You just know he's inconsistent, right? As long as you could accept that, sure. He has a great relationship with Anthony Davis, so I could see something like that happening for sure, because players always recruiting players at all times, right? And I think they said the Mavericks are going to have the mid-level exception or the full MLE to give to somebody like a D'Lo, right? So I've never been. I was a huge D'Lo fan since we drafted him, but he really rubbed me the wrong way this last year. The last couple years he had with us. It's almost like he really don't care about winning. Do I really want a player like that? Right? Nico Harrison, that would be very hypocritical. He talks so much about the culture, about winning, about, really having a sense of urgency. You get a player like that loves the podcast, is very chill, laid back, doesn't really have a sense of urgency. I actually think somebody like Dennis Schroeder, even though I like him better as a bench guard, is more of their timeline, right? It's more of what they're trying to do, a win now guy who's hungry. But D'Lo, he will fill a need, which is playmaking and shooting, till obviously Kyrie gets back and healthy, right? But I am happy. Congratulations to Kyrie on getting that 3-year contract deal. We're just a little bit under $40 million a year, right? Some people think he got underpaid. Some people think he got over. One thing's for sure, man. This guy is a baller. He is a baller. He said, we need hungry players. Oh, absolutely. This is why I think the Lakers have put in the call that I requested after seeing the Celtic trades. I think they put in that call to inquire about Jaylen Brown and Derek White, because those are dogs, okay? Those are real dogs. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Dennis can stay where he's at. I'm not the biggest fan of Dennis Schroeder when it comes to him starting on a team, but him off the bench can be really good. Off the bench, I think that's his specialty. We saw him start a little bit for the Golden State Warriors. Trash, right? We saw him start for us. Very inconsistent. But I like his energy. I like his defense primarily. And sometimes when he's not playing Call of Duty, when he's not being Call of Duty Dennis, he's out there scrapping and, getting out in transition, making things happen. Right. So that's the thing. Players like that are suited for the bench. They're spark plugs, right? They're energy guys who have it going sometimes, not all the times, right? Starters have to be more consistent, right? You got to know what you can expect from a starter more oftentimes than not. Let's see. Hey Dan, I'm a diehard Pacer fan, and that Hallie injury ruined my mood for the next 4 to 5 months. I'm so sad. He was good. This Pacer team was special, man. Wow. Yeah, man. Listen, Halliburton earned the world's respect just off of him playing through injury and giving it his all. I've been like Halliburton, bro. I've been a fan of his since he was on the Sacramento Kings, and I actually thought the Kings made a stupid decision, which clearly now we can see that I was right, by trading him away to the Pacers. You guys capitalized beautifully. Sabonis, while he's a really good player, he's not a generational talent, okay, or even close to that. So you don't trade generational talents for needs. That's not something you need to do. That would be the equivalent of, like, I don't know. I can't come up with an example right now, but that's you don't do it. You just don't do it. Okay. You have to hold on to your talent even if it doesn't fit right now. And what ended up happening is the Kings ended up with 0 point guards, right? So it is what it is. Dan, do you think we make a trade tonight? I know, this is what I can tell you. I know we will make a trade, but I'm not sure if it will be tonight. Now, the trade will happen at some point in December. Obviously, it could happen tonight, tomorrow, or over the next course of the couple of days. There is a sense of urgency on the Lakers front for multiple reasons. One, we're trying to sign Luka to an extension, so we want to show him what we can do. I'm sure Luka and his camp are like, okay, go get us a big man. Go do this, go do that. I like this free agent. We're going to try to show Luka, hey, man, this is what you can expect from the Lakers organization moving forward. We're trying to build around you. Then we have to figure out if LeBron's going to opt in or opt out, right? That's going to matter. Gives us just a little bit more flexibility depending on what he does there. Not too much. And then, obviously, there's a couple things. Maybe the Lakers attack free agency first and, or maybe they make a trade to clear up a little bit more cap to have more cap space for free agency, right? Whatever the case may be, I know for a fact the Lakers are not going to stand pat, and they're not going to come back with the exact same roster. They're going to make trades. They've been extremely active, and because of that, I know for a fact something's got to get done eventually. Could that happen tonight? Absolutely. Will that happen tonight? TBD. This is why we tune in to find out. But do I think it's going to happen tonight? To be honest, as active as they are, yes, I think it could happen tonight. Absolutely. But it's not a guarantee because sometimes you can be really active and you never really get anywhere. Could happen, especially with Rob. Rob is very patient. He's not going to make any knee-jerk reaction type moves. And, we'll see what he's able to come up with for sure. It was heartbreaking about Halliburton for sure, man. It killed the mood of that final game. I mean, we were in for a treat. It was 18-18. I still remember the score when he got hurt, and obviously Thunder went over in transition and got a bucket, and they never relinquished momentum after that. Even though they went down by 1 point at the half, I knew that they were going to go on a crazy run and put things away once that happened. I knew it. But again, I'm not going to discredit the Thunder because the Thunder were the one team in the playoffs, besides the Lakers, who could have went on these 15-0 runs, right? That's how talented they were. There wasn't too many teams after the Lakers got eliminated. I knew for a fact the Thunder were probably going to win the championship, right? And so that's what ended up happening. However, yes, it could have went a different route. Indiana was on a magical run. I still refuse to believe that one player in Halliburton, would have, especially with the injury he had and how he was kind of tentative, even though he started off hot, would have put him over the top of the Thunder because the Thunder were just destined to go on that 15-0 run or whatever it was. So it just felt like it was coming regardless. But yeah, very devastating, man. Shout out to your Pacers, and I hope that they come back stronger, whenever Hallie gets healthy. Unfortunately, they won't have a great season most likely next year, unless they make a crazy trade or something to replenish some of what they lost with Hallie, but doubt it. BJ, I appreciate the flowers, man. Hey, listen, some people still don't believe your boy has a source, man, but I've been blessed. That's all I'm gonna say, BJ. But a lot of it a lot of the stuff I predict is educated guesses, and the Jaylen Brown thing was an educated guess. I said if the Lakers, if I'm the Lakers, and every other team should be inquiring right now about Jaylen Brown, and but I've been saying the same thing. Think about this. I was on the Walker Kessler train 2 years ago, even before that, but really 2 years ago when we needed a big man to go alongside AD. I'm glad the Lakers are on that train now, and I hope that the train gets to its final destination, which equals trade. But man, I appreciate the flowers, BJ. Appreciate it, man. People still question me, man, even when I give them the news early. That's the way it goes, though. Appreciate you, Kimmy Goat. Let's see. Thor Jack says, hope there's an alternative universe wherein we don't need to trade for players who've grown to us. Oh, you're talking about like players we developed like Austin Reeves, right? It's tough. Let me tell you why that's tough, bro. And maybe new ownership would come, with a different game plan, and they'll try to mix it up and have some homegrown with some traded players and some stars mixed in there. But it's tough because the Lakers always expect winning. I think we saw this with the baby Lakers when they had Lonzo, Kuz, Julius, Josh Hart. When we had all those great young players, we kind of felt like, I hope we make the playoffs. If we don't, Laker fans are going to get, tired. They're gonna waver. Their confidence is gonna be shooketh, and that's exactly what happened. Got to the point where we were just like, trade whatever, just get us a chip, and we did that, right? We paid the price. We traded everybody, and we saw these players individually have successful careers in different places. Josh Hart, who's now in New York, tremendous role player. Julius Randle, multi-time All-Star. Brandon Ingram, I think he's a 1 or 2 time All-Star. We knew what we had when we had it, but we just didn't have the patience. And that's the thing about Los Angeles. We're always a win now town. And we got lucky and blessed that we were able to do that with a young Kobe Bryant, with a prime Shaq, and we drafted Bynum. We were able to do that with him, even though he had a short career. We've done it with a couple of players, but that's just usually not our MO. We usually go out there and sign a player and trade for a player and get the championships. That's usually how it happens. We already traded for the player in Luka, right? We signed the player in LeBron a couple years back, obviously. And so that's the way it goes. So I do expect us to be active in free agency, but especially in the trade market. That's what's really buzzing right now. Let's see. Rui, Gabe, Kleber, 2031 first round pick, top 4 protected for Ayton and Thibault. See, Rui, Gabe, Maxi Kleber, and a protected pick. I'll be honest with you. I don't think those guys are worth protected picks. Ayton is a good player. I don't think he's worth the first round at this point. It's enough you're giving up Rui. Rui might have more offensive potential, while Ayton may have more defensive potential. It's an equal trade for me. Just remove the first round pick, add a second if you want. Make it happen. Make it happen, Captain, right? But I like your trade suggestion, bro. Are we getting Andrew Wiggins or nah? My source has confirmed that we inquired about him. My source has not told me that we are in active conversations. However, my source does tell me that the Miami Heat are active, which means that there is a possibility if the Lakers get. I think my theory, and this is not my source talking, it's just me. My theory is that the Lakers are in and out of conversations. We're in here putting our chips at the table with Boston. We're in here putting our chips on the table with Utah, and we're going back. Okay, we're not able to accomplish nothing here. Pulling them back, putting them over here in Miami. So we're fluid, right? If you guys ever hear reporters say fluid, that's what they mean. You're putting chips out, doesn't work, putting chips back out. Oh, wait, they call me back. Let me bring my chips back this way, right? And that's the way fluid conversations actually work, right? Have I heard anything on Bam? Actually, teams have inquired about Bam, but for now, doesn't seem like there seems to be a lot of interest in Miami trading Bam or Tyler Hero. Those are the top 2 most coveted players that they currently have. Wiggins, on the other end, they're willing to dangle. They're willing to have more conversations about, but I'm not sure if you can actually get Bam unless he requests a trade just like Jimmy did, or they get the grandfather offer from somebody that really blows their socks off. You got to remember also, Pat Riley's very stubborn. Now, if the Lakers get on his good side since we can't build him a statue, who knows, man? I've seen crazier things happen. Luka. I've seen if Luka can happen, anything can happen. But it's not likely. I wouldn't hold my breath for Bam Adebayo, be honest, BJ. If I'm being quite honest with you, I'll never clickbait you guys, man. Bam's package will be huge. Hey, yo, chill. We need defense. Yeah. Absolutely. We need defense, bro. That is priority number one. Defense. Because defense wins championships. Defense wins championships. Absolutely. Let's see. What do you think about maybe trading Dalton for 2 of the Nets' late first round picks? They won't give you 2. You might get 1. They're not giving you 2. Although Dalton did show promise and potential on a team that has 3 primary stars, right? They're not going to give you 2 though. You're lucky to get 1. And I actually like this draft. There's a couple pieces I like. I like this draft, but yeah, probably not. Now, if the Brooklyn Nets want, pieces that have 1 year experience under their belt and they're trying to compete for next season, which I doubt, then maybe. But if you're Brooklyn, I'm looking to package all those picks, or at least most of them, to try to either move up in the draft or to get a really good player, right? Like a Giannis. They didn't get Kevin Durant, or they already had him, right? So maybe like a Giannis or something like that. You package a bunch of things and try to get a Giannis, right? They're going to have picks up the yang for years, especially with that Mikal Bridges trade. So they're good. They're good to go. Day'Ron Sharpe wouldn't be bad. He wouldn't be bad, Marcus. Day'Ron Sharpe would be nice. And again, there's some teams that you can finesse. There's some teams that the Lakers could maybe finesse. They don't have a real sense of direction. The Jazz are one of those teams. Not saying we can finesse them because obviously you know who's at the helm there. But the Jazz are one of those teams with no sense of direction. I think the Nets are another one of those teams that just putting draft picks together, see what they can come up with. There's a couple of teams that I think the Lakers could pull up and finesse for sure. But regardless, guys, this draft is going to get really intriguing. We talked about the rumors. Told you guys about the actual trade inquiries and reports, the legitimate ones, not the fake ones. Okay. And I got you guys with a post-draft recap after the draft. Make sure you guys tap in on playback. Kimmy Goat already posted the link. And we'll go. She said it's too damn quiet. I'm about to go check out. Hey, check out whoever. It is a good time to be a basketball fan because we got so many different rumors. Not all of them are going to land, but some of them will. And we're going to be here for it, all right? If anything breaks before the draft, I will come back live on this channel. And otherwise, you will see me here after the draft, all right? Enjoy the NBA draft, guys. Thank you guys so much for tapping in. Don't forget to tap that like button. Again, this video is brought to you and sponsored by Prize Picks and Underdog. Promo code DTLF or barcode on the screen, all right? Make sure you guys tap in. Appreciate you guys very much. Hopefully, I answered most of your questions. I'll be back on later tonight to recap the draft, all right? Expecting some moves. Let's get it, baby. Peace.